in your community.
You make the best of your opportunity every single Sunday. We don't know how many we got. I don't know how many I got. Make it count, boys.
Hey, this is a series of one-play battles all game long, man. Win your battle each and every play, one play at a time.
Hey, perform! Perform! Win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win!
You know, you're just like, you didn't even take me seriously. You didn't even take me seriously.
Devereaux look like one of the bridesmaids trying to catch the bouquet. Do like this.
Hey, yo.
Jackson wants to throw, lob to the back of the end zone. Mark Andrews has it. Touchdown, Ravens.
How about that?
Well, it was a high moment for the Ravens, who started off 2-2, but Baltimore has lost their last two to be 2-2 on the season. Joining this group, let me see if I can get them all. Browns, Buccaneers, Chargers, Colts, Eagles, Giants, Jaguars, Panthers, Raiders, the aforementioned Ravens, Texans, Titans, and Vikings, all bunched up there at 2-2, which, let's face it, after the first quarter of the season, 2-2 can kind of feel like yuck a little bit.
Yeah.
But there is hope. Find a team from that group right there that you still believe can be a playoff team.
The Baltimore Ravens, their offense still, I don't think the NFL has figured it out. They can't stop Lamar Jackson. I think they missed some big throws and big plays. Their defense is going to get better. But when you look at the Baltimore Ravens on defense, they're going to find a way to get some pressure. And they'll find a way to create some turnovers. But I think this offense, you know, they still, their run game is so explosive in between the tackles as well as on the perimeter. So I think that's why they're going to rattle off a couple wins here. Look at their schedule, Scott. They play at Pittsburgh this week. Then they play Cincinnati, who we just saw get throttled on Monday Night Football. And then they've got to go to Seattle. So I think they get back-to-back wins. They're 4-2 going up to play Seattle.
That rematch with Cleveland's going to be interesting after the way Cleveland made them.
Should be a little fun.
That's later in the season, late December. That
should be a good little one-on-one match.
Really good.
Whose stock are you buying at 2-2 when it's low?
I'm buying the Cleveland Brown stock, obviously.
Okay.
In the same division, right? Sean's going with Baltimore. I'm going with Cleveland. I just feel like the weapons that Cleveland has. This defense is starting to figure themselves out. Myles Garrett is proven to be unblockable. The secondary is playing better. They still didn't have Denzel Ward and
they got to get those guys
Greedy
healthy.
Williams back out there. Shout out to Joe Witt, their DB coach, because he's out there coaching guys up. But I just have so much confidence that this offense is going to get things figured out. If Freddie Kitchens is going to make things easy, they're going to run the football. Callaway's back. I just think all the weapons that Cleveland has offensively and the way that their defense is playing better, that they're the team to beat in that division.
Well, we'll find out later late in the season when
will.
those two 2-2 teams meet one more time. How about a 2-2 team that you're saying, they're not going in the right direction?
And I wrestled with this, and Sean, don't get mad at me, but it was between the Vikings and the Giants. And this week, I picked the Vikings to beat the Giants. And so I love what the Giants are doing.
Could end up in a tie. Who knows? Could be both.
It could.
We can hope.
I love what the Giants are doing with Daniel Jones, but he's still a young quarterback. He still has a lot to learn. He still has a lot of defenses that he needs to figure out, because you take a look at their
schedule.
Yeah, the Giants' schedule. And they have some tough football games. And
there it is right there.
That to me is what weighed in the Giants over Minnesota. You think about playing New England. Obviously, they have that Minnesota defense. Detroit, the way
a nice
playing.
team.
Dallas,
yep.
The Jets defense plays hard. Chicago. And so just up and down that roster, Daniel Jones is going to get challenged. And I know he's mobile, and I know he's been doing a lot of things very, very well for the Giants, but I just think at some point they're going to catch up to him.
Sean?
I'm going with the Oakland Raiders. They're in London right now, getting ready to play the Chicago Bears.
Khalil Mack is going like this right now to get after the Raiders quarterback.
Khalil Mack and company. I mean, when you look at what that defense did, the Monsters of the Midway showed up against the Minnesota Vikings. They basically eliminated Dalvin Cook from the equation. So I expect to see Derek Carr trying to find ways to get the ball out quick because he doesn't want to have to deal with that rush. Then you got that man right there, Harrison Smith, who's trying to bait you into some throws. So I think the Raiders, boy, this is a tough little lineup. After the Bears in London, they got the bye week, but then they come back and they're on the road at Green Bay and at Houston. Two tough places to play with two very electric quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, with his arm. Deshaun Watson can make the big plays, but he can also hurt you with his legs when he's not getting sacked, that is. But those are two offenses that are really tough to keep up with.
Let me throw out a little bit of hope for all the 2-2 fan bases out there. 4 of last year's playoff teams So 33% of the teams that made the playoffs last year started out 2-2. A lot of football left to be played. Although September is gone, but not forgotten. Some of the best plays of the year, you're looking at a couple of them right there. I actually like this one, Christian McCaffrey bursting out for a 76-yard touchdown run, and not only because he's on my fantasy team.